Have you considered a biblical worldview on investing? Well, that's what we're talking about today. But first, if we haven't met, my name is David Sandu, and I'm a financial advisor and kingdom advisor. And at Brighter Wealth, I help Christians become brighter stewards of God's wealth. So let's examine a biblical worldview on investing. First, let's look at the original purpose of investing. And when we think about the original purpose of investing, we're really talking about supplying capital to business. That's the original purpose of investing, supplying capital to support businesses. But most investors disassociate that in their mind. They think about the market rather than the actual productive intrinsic value of the company. They disassociate that in their mind. They're not really thinking about the business in and of itself and how it's actually producing and creating value. They're just thinking about it in terms of the market, for example. So the idea of ownership of I own a companies in my 401k, or I own companies in my stock plan or my retirement plan, that's become depersonalized and really commoditized with the use of mutual funds and ETFs. Most people don't really understand or know which companies they own. But when we think about the purpose of owned companies, it's for profit. But I want to talk also about the goal of our wealth, which is something that's a little bit different. And in Luke 12, there's a parable I want to read. In Luke 12, this is a parable that Jesus is talking about a man. He said, there's a rich man whose land was very fertile and productive, and he began thinking to himself, what shall I do, since I have no place to store my crops? Then he said, this is what I'll do. I'll tear down my storehouses and build larger ones, and I'll store all my grain and my goods there. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many good things stored up for many years. Rest and relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your soul will be required. And now who will own all the things you have prepared? So it is for the one who continues to store up and hoard possessions for himself and is not rich toward God. So I think this is a little bit different than the world's view on wealth, right? The goal of our wealth should be that we, and the goal of investing should be that we can be rich toward God. So when we talk about the goal of our wealth, we also need to talk about where does it come from? So the source of our wealth. Well, again, this is a little bit different, but the source of our profits, I think, imputes a moral value to the money itself. In fact, there's a Proverbs 1. I'll read it here. So are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. So that scripture is talking about ill-gotten gain. Ill-gotten gain really takes the life of the one who pursues it. Meaning, if you're just here in life to pursue wealth, it's actually going to consume your soul. So that's the source of the wealth. Now, when we think about the positive aspects of prospering and investing, what does the Bible say about that? Well, Proverbs 11 says that when it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is jubilation. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. So here, the positive aspect of prospering and investing means that there will be joy because people are excited, but then there's also an intrinsic love value here that we are loving our neighbor through our investing here. So I hope that helped you understand a little bit more on a biblical worldview on investing. It's not about just heaping up more and more wealth in your storehouses or your barns, but it's really about being rich toward God and then bringing love to our neighbor and then bringing people joy, the society that we live in, joy. So thanks for watching today. If you'd like to learn more about how to become a brighter steward of God's wealth, you can visit brighterwealth.net. You can click there and learn more, and then you can also sign up for my upcoming webinar. Thanks.